This is Paul. Yeah, I'm just reading this law dictionary. Yeah. They have what is known as sua sponte. Of itself, if a court declares a mistrial without any motion by one of the parties to a trial, it does so sua sponte. Then there's suable, capable of being sued, an issue that lends itself to a lawsuit. Yeah. Then there's under the law, pooch, sua sponte. Now, as I look at the chronological order of events that have taken place over the last 6 years, yes, I had wanted to know what was the comment entry of Judge Ken Williams on May 24th of 2012, because you would think any Superior Court case summary that involves a defendant would be allowed to know any of the comments involving the court case. Yes. And then there's a case information cover sheet, a petition for dissolution, then the summons to appear in court. I'm guessing that's what it is. But I was arrested at the same moment as the dissolution was served on me, so I went to jail at that same moment. Now, I would have thought that the summons would have required that the defendant should have been able to respond from the moment of being served. Then there's the confidential report in sealed envelopes, affidavit, declaration regarding service members' civil relief. Yeah. I wasn't in the service. I had volunteered at the United Services Organization on Guam, and I had thought that I was actively involved in working with both the Navy and the Air Force on Guam, and I thought that the Navy and the Air Force had a pretty good idea of what I was doing on Guam. I was never active duty military, but I thought there were generals and admirals that do know my name, and I'm going to give you my phone number in just a few minutes, and you can call me. Financial declaration, proposed parenting plan, child support worksheet, and child support worksheet. There's a sheriff's return to service on May 31st after they had arrested me at the same moment as serving me, when there was no jurisdiction for the arrest because I was not given any notice or opportunity to be heard in 2011. Now, you could call me and tell me how I could get my civil rights enforced, because as an American citizen, I've grown frustrated with those in law enforcement refusing to enforce the laws of the United States. Now, you have this return of service, and then on the 4th of June, sheriff's return of service. That must have been the motion to modify, because Heidi motioned the court to modify the protection order, even though there was 2.5 months left on it, pooch, and I didn't break the protection order where there was no jurisdiction to have me arrested. So modifying the protection order when I was found not guilty, when there was no jurisdiction, really belittled the integrity of the judicial system. Other children in the middle class, Heidi Lee Budnick, I had actually registered for children in the middle class in July of 2012, but somebody had canceled it at Healthy Families of Clallam County without informing me that it was canceled. Poo-poo. It just so happened that on May 24th, there was this motioning of the court for the dissolution of marriage. It happened that there was just barely enough time on August 23rd of 2012 to go to an evening children in the middle class so that I could get that requirement for dissolution done before the 90 days had expired. Now, it seemed to me that not informing those that had registered and paid for the class, that they canceled it, was like trying to get me to miss the 90-day deadline so that they could get a default dissolution of marriage. Now, I wanted you to get a new phone number because I thought that Healthy Families of Clallam County intentionally was trying to obstruct me from attending the children in the middle class. And then when I went to the county clerk the next day, Healthy Families of Clallam County was able to access the judicial system so as to make entries on the court record, even though they're not for profit. How is it possible that anyone that's not an employee of the state or county government would be able to enter in anything on a court website? I'd like you to call me at 360-747-8431. If you know where my missing and abducted sons are, and that number again is 360-747-8431. If you happen to see this video and you know what Ken Williams' comment was, because how can judges make comments where the plaintiff and the defendant can't see what the comments are? Pooch. Seemed like there was like a top secret communication system between those and the fucking judiciary. Is it actually legal to make any comment on a case record where the defendant and the petitioner don't get to know what the comment is? Was it possible that somebody paid to cancel the children in the middle class without informing me, because I went there for the class and then thought, well, we filed it on May 24th and we'll have it on August 23rd, and exactly 89 days, and not including the day of service, the day of filing, that he might miss the deadline and you could get a default dissolution of marriage. Now, this seems like there's a lot of... Just give me a call. I got one of those Wi-Fi phones.